ございます。Ryu Sensei です。おはようございますって言いながら、実は今昼12時です。遅れてすみません。はい、everybody listen and repeat after me. 遅れて、遅れてすみません. You probably know すみません means I'm sorry. 遅れて means to be late. So I'm sorry I'm late. 遅れましてすみませんでした。皆さんお元気ですか？こちらは天気は曇りですね。It's very cloudy. ちょっと涼しくなりました。では今日、いろいろ話したい。I have a few things to talk about. And if you leave any questions in the chat that I will look at. I'm sorry I'm late. I had some technical difficulties and I still am. There we go. Okay. So if you leave me some messages in the chat, and for example, my connection is not doing well today. So here we go. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is learning Japanese with fairy tales. And like all countries, Japan has many. They're called mukashi banashi. And let me see if I can find the file for that. We'll add that here. I should have had that all ready to go. And mukashi banashi is, mukashi means a long time ago, and banashi means story. The original form of banashi is, oh, I got the wrong file. Doing really good today. Um, you say mukashi means a long time ago, and the banashi is actually from the word hanashi, which means um, speak or story. So here we got it. There's two kanji. The first one is mukashi, and the second one hanashi, but that conjugates to the ba sound, banashi. We can see in hiragana banashi, and it just means fairy tale or a long, long time ago. So often they'll always start just like with in English fairy tales, say a long, long time ago there was a boy or there was a man. They say mukashi mukashi aru tokoro ni. Mukashi mukashi aru tokoro ni. A long time ago in a place far away or someplace there was some man or some woman. Now these are fantastic, I think, to learn Japanese. And you say, oh, that's corny. I don't want to watch children's stories. Well, do it anyway. Also, of course, children's songs are great. And I used to listen to them and I got kind of tired of it, but it'll help you understand the culture. And the more you understand the culture, the more you will understand why people say the things they do. You can learn the words, but when you get a lot of words and trying to construct a sentence, you might do it your style of speaking from your country. But the more you learn the culture, you'll get a sense of how to construct a sentence you've never made before, the way a Japanese person would do it. So I did some investigation on the internet, and you search Japanese fairy tales, English subtitles, and you'll find all sorts of stuff. And I think the best would be something I found one and I was going to share it, but then my computer shut down and I lost it. It had the hiragana for all the lines, and but I noticed when I replayed from the beginning, it said click on captions for the English translation, and I did, and the translation was quite accurate. So you can play a little, stop, read the translation, and then read the hiragana that's on the screen and practice speaking it. Or you can just go through the whole story and then go back and dissect it either way. And the great thing about fairy tales is they repeat the same expression again and again. Um, so there's one about the kind old man and the mean old man, and the mean old man keeps trying to take stuff from the kind old man to improve his wealth, and every time it doesn't go well, and the nice old man turns out to get more. And they always say, Tonari no ijiwari oji-san. So tonari means next door, and the ijiwari means mean or bullying. The oji-san is old man. So anyway, try that. So if you look, I found one page, they had it broken down into lessons, they had the script, and then they had the sound files at slow, very slow, slow, regular, and fast. So you can, if it's too difficult, you can play it slowly. If it's a little easy, you can play it at the normal speed and practice listening and repeating stuff like that. It would be a great lesson. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is tongue twisters. And I have, in one of my other videos, I talked about tongue twisters. And in Japanese, they're called hayai kuchikodoba. And hayai means fast, and kuchi means mouth, and kodoba means words. And there's one called nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. And let me put that in some captions here. Okay, so let's see here. Add that. Okay, so nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. Nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. Nama means raw or fresh, uncooked, and mugi is barley. And then again, nama is raw, uncooked, and in this case, gome is from the word kome, which means rice. And the last one, I didn't separate it. Nama is again raw, and tamago is egg. So here you can learn a few words, but also it's just for practicing pronunciation. So let's say it after me. Nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. But you want to really be able to say it really fast. Nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. So why is this useful? Well, the word nama, like for example, draft beer from the tap is called nama biru. I don't know why. And often people use nama tamago on their rice or when they're eating sukiyaki. And namagome means the rice is uncooked. Okay, so you can just use these words in conversation, but it also helps with fluency. So I want to give a challenge. In fact, right now, I'm going to say it at a speed that's not so fast, that slow enough that you can, I'm saying it clearly, and I'm going to time myself. Okay, ready? Here we go. Nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. Now, I think I can say it faster, and you can't see this. Just believe me, it's 1.98 seconds. So just under 2 seconds. Let me try it once more. Go. Nama mugi, nama gome, nama tamago. 1.8. Okay, so here it is. My challenge is for people to try this at home and see if you can beat my time. Also, if you want to challenge me with another tongue twister, Japanese hayai kuchikodoba, then go ahead and find one on the internet, practice it, time yourself. Now, what would be really fun is if anybody was brave enough to come onto the live stream with me. In fact, I invite anybody who wants to come in and talk with me in an interview situation or even practice some conversation live. Let me know. And when I do the next live stream, I can send you a link, let you into the live stream. We can discuss stuff, practice a little Japanese, and even live do the speed challenge for the tongue twister. Okay. Now, the last thing, I've been meeting a lot of people who say, well, Japanese is hard. It's got katakana, hiragana. I don't understand the grammar. And I always say, well, yeah, I think Japanese is easy. It was the first language I studied, but the pronunciation, I believe, is much easier than even English. But I think language in general, a lot of people, they say, I want to learn it, but when they start, they think it's hard. And I think part of that is the psychological part. So I've been meeting a lot of people online, and I ask, do you speak Japanese? And they say, oh, some. And then I hit them with something really fast, and they look at me shocked, and they cut me off. So I think they were afraid or something like that. Or they said something in Japanese, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand what. And again, they cut me off. So When I first learned Japanese, I was in the class raising my hand, height, 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 and often I made mistakes, and other people looked at me and laughed, but I didn't care at that time. But recently, when I'm doing Chinese online, I understand the psychological part. I practice, practice, practice. I meet somebody and I say something in Chinese, and they go, "What? What is that? Is that Chinese?" And after that, I kind of felt like, well, maybe I should just give up. It was kind of, I felt depressed, But so I think there's a psychological part to that. When you're going to practice, learn some sentences, try to say them, and people aren't going to understand you. That's part of the process. And then you keep just repeat until they go, oh, yeah, and they answer you. Or you'll say something, but it's strange. And they say, no, we don't say that. Buck up. Don't worry about it. Don't care. If you keep going at it, you will be able to speak it at least enough for basic conversation. So that's that on that. So it looks like today I have no questions. Actually, recently somebody said they typed in some questions and I didn't answer, but I didn't see any. I'm using Restream and to multiple stream to different platforms, Twitter, etc. But I think maybe next week I might just go directly from YouTube. I've noticed when I use the Restream platform, I put in comments and I put in a poll, and then later I go back and it's gone. And so I don't know if there's some problems there. But anyway, thank you for watching today, and please I look forward to people coming and watching next Sunday. And if you can, after I scheduled this one like yesterday. Sorry. But if you see, it's scheduled, go ahead in the comment, leave questions ahead of time. So I have plenty to talk about and I can prepare to answer your questions correctly. Now, again, to re-summarize, Japanese Mukashi Banashi. Check it out. I found one page, and even in Japan, they have Jack and the Beanstalk. And I don't know if like Japanese kids all learn that when they're kids, but I found one page and had several different Japanese fairy tales with translations, videos, soundtracks. So if you do a little investigation, you can find that. And I think it'll be really helpful. It has been for me. And even people will, like when in Rome, do as the Romans do, expressions like that come from some of these fairy tales and can be actually useful. But again, when you're watching the fairy tale, they're designed to teach children a moral, a standard, and they're designed to teach children language. So they often repeat themselves, the same expression over and over. So by the end of a 15-minute little short story, there's probably 4 or 5 words that are just stuck in your head. And you memorized it. And with the pictures, they usually have at least some simple animation or simple pictures. That's how you make the connection of what's happening. They say a word like kiru, kare o kirimashita, and it shows the guy cutting the guy with a sword. Oh, okay, kiru means cut. So, all right, again, mina, arigatou gozaimasu. Mata laishu yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Sayonara.